Alright, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. On B, today we've got one case of 2025 Leaf Metal. Happy holidays, multi-sports to get into. When we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save it to the seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us with more breaks, and let you know we go live and be live. Also, to mention no purchase and safe, link down in the description. Box number one. Good luck, everybody. One of one. Will Wheaton. Pete Rose. 5 of 5. And Nolan Ryan. Let us know. 2 of 5. Box number 2, Reggie Jackson, 2 of 5. Terry Francona, 12 of 15. And Nolan Ryan, Tommy John, and Jim Palmer, 1 of 1. That'll be headed to random.org at the end of the break. Stay tuned for that if you have any of those three guys. Dominique, 5 of 15. Eddie Murray, 1 of 1. And dual auto, Andre Dawson and Vladimir Guerrero, 1 of 1. That'll also be headed to random.org at the end of the break, so stay tuned for that if you have either of those two guys. Andre Reed, 1 of 1. Mike Piazza, 2 of 2. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, 4 of 5. Joe Dumars, 3 of 3. Jim Edmonds, 1 of 1. And Allen Iverson, Snow Globe, 3 of 4. Box 6. Dexter McClellan Jr., 1 of 15. Jose Canseco, 1 of 1. And Nika Moore, season's greetings, 1 of 2. Box 7. Danny White, 14 of 15. Tyler Hero, 4 of 5. And Christy Brinkley, 3 of 5. Box 8. Dwight Gooden, 3 of 3. Gabby Douglas, 2 of 5. And John Elway, 3 of 10. Box number 9. Cynthia Cooper, 5 of 5. Howard Johnson, 1 of 5. And Conor McGregor, 1 of 15. And bottom box of the break. Box number 10. Good luck, everybody. Adrian Beltre, 5 of 5. Kevin Mitchell, 2 of 2. And Kate Beckinsale, 1 of 1. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you all so much for being part of the break as always. Go and get a hit recap going real quick. That will take care of our 2 randoms. For the hits, Dominique, Eddie Murray, Andre Reed, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Allen Iverson, Dex McClellan Jr., Danny White, Gabby Douglas, Dwight Gooden, Chrissy Brinkley, Cynthia Cooper, Howard Johnson, Conor McGregor, and Adrian Beltre. P. Rose, Nolan Ryan, Mike Piazza, Joe Dumars, Jim Edmonds, Jose Canseco, Nika Moole, John Elway, Kevin Mitchell, Kate Beckinsale, Quill Wheaton, Reggie Jackson, Terry Francona, and Tyler Hero. And headed to random.org, Andre Dawson and Vladimir Guerrero, and Nolan Ryan, Tommy John, and Jim Palmer. Alright, that is it for Multisport. We are on to 2025 Leaf Lumber Baseball here in a few minutes. Going to get that set up and good to go. And we'll be back with the randoms in just a second. Alright, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Got to roll some dice. Going to be through a hydro die for us. We're going to go 10 times on each random, starting off with Andre Dawson and Vladimir Guerrero. That is 9 times. Not a roll. Andre Dawson with the win. Congratulations. And Nolan Ryan, Tommy John, and Jim Palmer. That is 9 times. Final roll. Jim Palmer with the win. Congratulations. All right, that is it for Multisport. Thank y'all again for being here on a Sunday morning. Do appreciate it. And we are on to 2025 Leaf Lumber Baseball. Back that in just a few minutes. Alright, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks on B. Today we've got one case of 2025 Leaf Lumber Baseball to get into. When we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save it as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks and let you know we're live to be live. Also mention no printers necessary for link down in the description. Box number 1. Good luck, everybody. Rogers Hornsby, 6/6. Mark McGuire, 19/35. Octopatch, 10/12. Cal Ripken Jr., Brooks Robinson, Rafael Palmiero, Roberto Alomar, Eddie Murray, Adam Jones, Don Baylor, and Melvin Mora. And Dave Winfield, 2/3. Box number 2. Andre Dawson, 3/5. Todd Helton, 1/6. Dale Murphy, 2/25. And Juan Gonzalez, 1/1 bat barrel nameplate. Boom. Box 3. Ken Caminiti, 12/20. Kirk Gibson, 15/15. Jeff Burrows, 4/4. And triple patch auto. Andre Dawson, Al Oliver, and Tim Raines, 1/6. Dan Uglum, 7/45. Tim Raines, 7/20. Willie Mays, Ted Klojewski, Ernie Banks, and Duke Schneider, 3/10. And Miguel Cabrera, 3/30. Box number 5, halfway point. Ivan Rodriguez, 3 of 4. Pat Burrell, 7 of 7. Billy Williams, Johnny Bench and Johnny Bench, 32 of 35. And George Brett, 6 of 7. Box 6. Eddie Murray, 6 of 20. Manny Ramirez, 3 of 5. Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez, Ray Knight, Bill Buckner, Jim Rice, and Wade Boggs, 13 of 25. And David Justice, 2 of 3. Billy Williams, 2 of 5. Steve Garvey, 5 of 6. Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez, Edgar Alfonso, Mike Piazza, Howard Johnson, Kevin McReynolds, Bobby Bonilla, and Roberto Alomar, 1 of 12. And Steve Garvey, 1 of 6. Box 8. Fred McGriff, 3 of 35. Willie Upshaw, 20 of 20. Edgar Alfonso, 1 of 5. And 19 of 20, Andy Van Slyke and Jack Clark, dual auto. Box 9. A-Rod, 1 of 20. Kirby Puckett, 5 of 45. Ben Oglivie, 1 of 1. And today's lineup. 3 of 3. Shohei Ohtani, Pie Trainer, Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, Willie Stargell, Rogers, Hornsby, Johnny Bench, and Derek Jeter. Boom. Three. And final box of the break, box number 10. Good luck, everybody. Jay Johnstone, 1 of 20. Tony Gwynn, 21 of 45. George Foster, Jim Rice, Steve Garvey, and Gary Carter, 14 of 25. And Chris Sabo, 9 of 35. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you all so much for being part of the break, as always. We'll go ahead and get a hit recap going here in just a second, and we'll take care of our randoms, which we have plenty up ahead. Alright, for the heads, Dave Winfield, Dale Murphy, Andre Dawson, Dan Ugla, George Brett, David Justice, Eddie Murray, Billy Williams, Fred McGriff, Edgar Alfonso, A-Rod, Ben Oglivie, and Chris Sabo. Mark McGuire, Juan Gonzalez, 1 of 1. Ken Caminiti, Kurt Gibson, Jeff Burrows, Miguel Cabrera, Pat Burrell, Ivan Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, Kirby Puckett, and Jay Johnstone. Rogers Hornsby, Todd Helton, Tim Raines, Steve Garvey, Willie Upshaw, and Tony Gwynn. And headed to random.org. Jack Clark, Andy Van Slyke, Billy Williams, Johnny Bench, Andre Dawson, Al Oliver, Tim Raines, Willie Mays, Ted Klajewski, Ernie Banks, and Duke Schneider. George Foster, Jim Rice, Steve Garvey, Gary Carter. Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez, Ray Knight, Bill Buckner, Jim Rice, Wade Boggs. Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez, Edgar Alfonso, Mike Piazza, Howard Johnson, Kevin McReynolds, Bobby Bonilla, Roberto Alomar. Cowerkin Jr., Brooks Robinson, Rafael Palmiero, Roberto Alomar, Eddie Murray, Adam Jones, Don Baylor, Melvin Mora. And 3 of 3, Shohei Ohtani, Pie Trainer, Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, Willie Stargell, Rogers Hornsby, Johnny Bench, and Derek Jeter. Alright, that is it for us for today. Thank you all again for being here on a Sunday morning, spending just a little bit of your time here with us. Do appreciate it. We're going to head over to random.org real quick and knock these out. We'll be back to that in just a second. Alright, we've got random the door pulled up and good to go. Gotta roll some dice. Go to your high to valve for us. We're gonna go 5 times on each random. Starting off with Eddie Van Slyke and Jack Clark. That's 4 times. Final roll. Jack Clark with the win. Congratulations. Billy Williams, Johnny Bench, and Johnny Bench. That's 4 times. Final roll. Johnny Bench with the win. Congratulations. Andre Dawson, Al Oliver, and Tim Raines. Final roll. Al Oliver taking it home. Willie Mays, Ted Klajewski, Ernie Banks, and Duke Schneider. Final roll. Willie Mays taking it home. Congratulations. George Foster, Jim Rice, Steve Garvey, and Gary Carter. Final roll. Jim Rice with the win. Congratulations. Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez, Ray Knight, Bill Buckner, Jim Rice, and Wade Boggs. Final roll. Jim Rice with the win. Congratulations. Gary Carter, Howard Johnson, Keith Hernandez, Kevin McReynolds, Edgar Alfonso, Mike Piazza, Bobby Bonilla, and Roberto Alomar. Final roll. Gary Carter with the win. Congratulations. Cal Ripken Jr., Brooks Robinson, Rafael Palmiero, Roberto Alomar, Eddie Murray, Adam Jones, Don Baylor, and Melvin Mora. Final roll. Roberto Alomar with the win. Congratulations. And Shohei Ohtani, Pie Trader, Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, Willie Stargell, Rogers Hornsby, Johnny Bench, and Derek Jeter. That is 4 times. Final roll. Ted Williams with the win. Congratulations. Alright. That is it for us for today. Thank you guys again. This was BMC Collectibles Breaks. We look forward to having you back in here sometime soon. And until next time, everybody, hope you have a great rest of your Sunday.